Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your January the 6th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. Looking forward to doing this with you. I'm taping from the Chicago Regional Convention of Narcotics Anonymous, year 36. So I'm excited to get this done for you. It's about 1 in the morning. So let's go ahead and enjoy this together so it's ready for you. As I sleep in the morning, it will be ready for you, okay? January the 6th, vigilance and the second tradition. We need to keep an eye on our passion, lest it becomes self-righteousness. And we keep an eye on our disagreements, lest we begin to harbor ill will toward our fellows. Vigilance is an inside job. That comes from our Guiding Principles book, Tradition 2, In Service. The practice of vigilance can be like holding vigil, keeping space and silence to honor something of value, such as the spiritual principles that bring us freedom and peace of mind. In our personal recovery, vigilance often means paying close attention to our feelings, thoughts, and actions so we can catch ourselves before slipping into old behaviors or patterns. Our basic text reminds us that we are each other's eyes and ears. Our sponsor and other NA members can hold vigil with us by reflecting our values to us when we forget them, or pointing out our boneheaded actions when we fail to see them. We need one another's vigilance. Our vigilance has a place in NA service too. We strive always to adhere to the guidance of our traditions, working to maintain unity, anonymity, focus on our primary purpose, and so forth. Many of us have gone through a phase or phases in our service to NA when we felt as though the traditions needed enforcers and we were just the right candidates. One member shared, I had been calling the local helpline and pretending to be a using addict to see if I could catch the volunteers making a mistake. Then my sponsor asked me which list of spiritual principles I found deception in. I felt pretty embarrassed. Our traditions guide us to do our best for NA, and we each have a responsibility to remain vigilant and speak our conscience. Sometimes those who disagree may treat us like vigilantes, people who take matters into their own hands. Other times we might feel like vigilantes, like NA won't survive if we don't save. Tradition 2 reminds us to trust the expression of a higher power in our group conscience. NA is a we thing, not a me thing. Rather than enforcing our traditions or trying to catch our fellow members slipping, we speak our conscience clearly and directly and leave the results up to a power greater than ourselves. I can be vigilant without becoming a vigilante. My perspectives and interpretations are one of many. I will give my fellow members something we all deserve: room to make mistakes and room to learn from them and grow. What a beautiful meditation. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer and the third step prayer. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God, take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live clean just for today, please and thank you. Oh man, this is such a beautiful meditation. I feel like I cannot do it justice with the energy that I have. And so I want to make sure that I let you know that this is a beautiful meditation. And I'm sure one that we can all relate to. At one point in time, I believe we all have actually behaved like vigilantes doing service. And if you haven't, right, you don't have that experience, that's great. You never have to be a vigilante. There will be times that you feel like you have to save NA. There will be times that you will feel like that. If you have never had that experience, you don't need to. We've done plenty of it for you. And it always ends the same. People distancing themselves from us, someone in the group mentioning that it was a bit of an overkill, the way that we reacted. It always ends the same. In some kind of way, we feel that we have to add the group to our 10th step and make prompt amends. Huh? Can you imagine calling the helpline and trying to catch those doing service on the hotline in an error and then having to have your sponsor ask you deception? Yeah. What type of spiritual principle is that? That would be so embarrassing. And I'm just trying to imagine the conversation where the individual actually shared it with their sponsor, almost as if they were bragging about doing it or just talking about doing it in a way where they actually thought their sponsor would think that it's okay. Yeah, that's not okay. We have to get to the point where our relationship, I believe, right, with our higher power, the same higher power or God of our understanding or force of nature that brought us to recovery can keep us in recovery. The same higher power that allowed Narcotics Anonymous to be birthed from the Mother Fellowship, right? And be far more inclusive and has kept it alive since 1953, even with all of our mistakes, can continue to keep it long after I personally draw my last breath. I believe that. I just believe it. I believe that there's so much good in Narcotics Anonymous. Oh, there's plenty of bad. Believe me, at the dance that I was just at, I saw plenty of behaviors, right? And I didn't feel a need to participate. I love music. I love to dance, but there's just certain music I'm not dancing to. I don't feel that certain music really conveys recovery at all. And I'm not dancing to that. But there was lots of behaviors. I didn't feel a need to try to be a vigilante about that. I didn't feel a need to talk to the DJ. What are you playing? Not at all. Not at all. Not even in the slightest little bit. I don't have to save the dance at the convention. Oh, yeah, it was a bit offensive as a woman. It was a bit offensive. But I didn't feel a need to act out, make my point known. Not at all. I think the point was made as the dance floor began to clear, right? And eventually no one was dancing because the lyrics were just so foul. That was a group conscience. Together, without people even really thinking about trying to make a point. They just decided as they were dancing, what am I dancing to? And before you knew it, the whole floor was empty. Yeah. There's something about the group conscience that can operate without us making a scene, without us being a vigilante. Do you trust it? Do you trust the process enough? If you don't, then we have something to work on. Vigilance in the second tradition. We have plenty to work on. If you do, that's good. Just remember this meditation when the time and day comes when you don't. Because surely as day passes to night, there will come a point in time when you feel different about something else that kind of touches your heartstrings. And you'll be challenged to trust the process. We can be vigilant without becoming a vigilante. In my perspectives and interpretations are one of thousands and thousands and thousands. We all have an opinion. And most certainly, we have a way of being able to share our opinions in a way that's productive. Let's stick to that. It's worked. It's a wheel that's been built that works. And I don't feel a need to rebuild it. Where are you with it though? What are you thinking about it? I hope that this weekend is beautiful for you as it is for me. I hope that today will be a beautiful day. And it will be. Actually, it will be. I know that it will be. Even if some bad things happen, even if we get some bad news, even if some things that we rather not happen actually happen, it can still be a character building day. It's all about perspective, right? So have a beautiful day intentionally. You deserve it. The war is over. It doesn't mean there's some small battles that we don't have to deal with. But today we're far more mature than we've ever been. And we can do it. And we can do it together, not alone. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you. And I will be talking to you tomorrow.